So this is lab 8 of the skull, spine, and ribs. So first, let's do the skull. So right here, we have the ethmoid. Up here, we have the frontal. And then on the side here in the back, we have the occipital lobe, we have the parietal lobe, we have the sphenoid lobe, temporal lobe. We also have the lacrymal lobe, and we also have on the other side, which is the under here, which is our mandible lobe, and then our maxilla lobe, and then we have our nasal bone lobe, which is up here. We actually have our plantain lobe, which is right here, which is the bone right here. I keep saying lobe instead of bone, sorry. But next we have our vomer bone, which is right here inside the nose, and then 13, which is our zygomatic lobe, which is going to be let's see if I can find it here, right here, the zygomatic. And then lastly, we have, one second, sorry. And lastly, we had little technical difficulty, sorry. And lastly, we have our, lastly, we have our foramen magnum mark, which is right there. And now we are going to move on to the vertebral column, which is these two right here. So first, you got the body. You got the body of the vertebral column, which is all this right here. This is the vertebral column. And then we have the pedicle right here. We have the lamina, spinous process, which is up here, and then transverse process, which is right here, and then superior articular process and faucet is right here, and then open space between here is the inferior articular process. If it were flipped right here, it'd be the inferior articular process and faucet. And then the hole in the middle, which is right here, that's our vertebral foramen. And then the transverse foramen is on the other side right here. And then we also have our other bone of the vertebral column right here. On this side, we have the superior costal faucet, and then here we have the inferior costal faucet, and then lastly, the transverse costal faucet, which is around here, and that's all for the vertebral column. For the ribs, put this right here. For the ribs, we have the head, faucets of articulation, the neck, tubercle, an articular faucet on tubercle. And we also have the, I'm sorry, I'm at the wrong bone. I'm on the wrong bone. I am so sorry.